Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf. You know, Chad, you and I have been talking about this for years. The Evening Edit, we decided to cover this because it's an economic issue. It's a national security issue. It impacts borders, states, cities, and towns, communities across the country. It is an economic issue. Now we've got Henry Cuellar saying catch and release. 18,500 have been released into the interior without court papers to show up for their hearings. That's up by about more than 3,000 in just 2 weeks' time. What's going on there?
Well, again, it continues to be a crisis, and I agree with the congressman on many of his comments in the earlier segment. But what you have with family units coming across the border, so if we just take a look at that population alone, in the month of March, 53,000 family units, and these are the folks that are being released into the interior, some without court dates, as you mentioned. And so these are folks that are going into communities, and we say that that every community in the U.S. is now a border community, because these individuals and these groups that are moving into the country don't stay along that southwest border, don't stay in South Texas and Arizona and other places. They go to every community around the country. So it's concerning. It's concerning that the Biden administration continues to ignore enforcing the rule of law on that border. There is no consequence for these individuals coming across that border illegally. And until they assign a consequence, an immigration consequence, and hold them accountable, you're going to continue to see these numbers continue to spike.
Republican Congressman Michael Waltz talked to us about another disturbing number. It's about the percentage, he said, of women and children who are sexually assaulted trying to cross illegally. This is a humanitarian issue. Watch this.
And what breaks my heart is the father of a teenage girl. 30 to 40%, according to international NGOs, of girls especially, but boys as well, are being sexually assaulted and sold into trafficking. So they take money from these poor families that are so desperate, and then they sell they sell them into trafficking. It's just truly sad and disgusting, and the Biden administration doesn't seem to care.
Sir, we're not going to criticize what other media like MSNBC or CNN choose to report, or NBC or CBS, ABC, what they choose to report or don't report. We are singularly focused on this issue because it is a humanitarian issue. We've got the boat that capsized off of San Diego. Illegal immigrants in that boat said they paid up to $18,000 to be smuggled in. Now 3 dead, and the captain has been arrested and charged in federal court. So why is this being downplayed and not given more attention in Washington?
Well, it's a great question.
All of the stories being downplayed.
We've talked about it for years, which is the dangerous journey that a lot of these migrants partake in. Somewhere in the case of 2,000 miles, they're traversing Mexico and approaching the southwest border. And obviously, to do that, they have to pay the cartels and the smugglers and the traffickers to do that. And there's a lot of violence that goes on in that process. There's a lot of abuse that goes on in that process, women, children, and alike. And I will say that, whether you're talking about the Obama administration or the Trump administration, our message was similar in a sense of please don't come, and we put measures in place, and then we removed individuals that were here. And that is a complete 180 from the Biden administration. They are actively encouraging folks to come to this border, which is the most inhumane message that you can send individuals to put themselves in the hands of these smugglers and others that are going to, again, have a very dangerous journey. So instead of telling them about the dangers, what the message out of the administration is come, the border's open, and if you get here, you will remain here in the U.S. And I continue to say that in and of itself is the most inhumane policy that you could have.
Now Caitlyn Jenner, she's running to be the governor of California, is getting criticized for her support for border security and a border wall. Let's listen to Caitlyn Jenner with Sean Hannity. Watch this.
I am all for the wall. I would secure the wall. We can't have a state, we can't have a country without a secure wall. I am for securing this state. I am pro law enforcement. I am pro border protection. Okay. ICE, pro ICE. We need these people, and they do a wonderful job.
It should be pointed out that Democrats Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden were saying the exact same thing in the 2000s. What do you say to that?
Well, we know all of those positions, being for effective border security, being for law enforcement. These are positions that most reasonable Americans, the vast majority of Americans, agree with. So it's quite stunning, which is exactly why President Obama, Senator Clinton, and others held those positions just a short period of time ago. But again, whether it's the mainstream media or it's the fringe of the Democrat Party, wants to have this open border policy in effect. And I think there's going to be a lot of pushback and a lot of again, pushback on those issues coming over the next year or so. And it's very interesting to watch.
Chad Wolf, great to see you. Come back soon, okay?
All right. Thank you.